Hey everyone, and welcome to Screams After Midnight. I am Peter, and joining me as always is Tim.
Hey, welcome to another just great week.
It depends what you
Yeah,
talked about. If you're talking about video games, it was a pretty good week. There was a lot of big stuff happened.
sure. Yeah. I guess I was talking more about the fact that we couldn't go outside because the air was uh very very unhealthy. But and
Like, I,
then
I
we
grant
had
you,
an
I grant you those bigger problems. I'm just saying that there was something. If you wanted the silver lining of the week, you could find a positive thread.
Are you talking about the Super Mario 3D All Stars that came out on Friday?
Most definitely not. Nintendo trash. I'll hear none of it. This
Oh
is a
my
horror movie
gosh.
podcast. This is our news edition of the show. Our main episodes, of course, we review horror movies, but most weeks we get together and discuss the news that happened in the past 7 days, give or take, as Tim is herding at least two cats, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get started with some potential good news, although this is in grain of salt territory right now. So don't
Okay.
get too jazzed yet. Because most of my news comes from Bloody Disgusting. It's just an easy place to go because it's a horror website, has news throughout the week. It's easy to browse through and find the relevant things that I want to talk about.
I don't think not everyone understands how easy that is, to have a website that's like good to navigate. Like sometimes I
Mm.
will try to like look up different websites and it's just like I don't know how to read this, or it's like Ad City where it's just like, where's the article? Am I clicking on like the news thing, or am I accidentally buying like a pair of like, I don't know, male slippers or something? I don't
Why did you have to specify male slippers?
know. I don't know. It's like you see like weird ads, like you see some dumb shit like, oh, like finally slippers for men. And you're like, what is this? I don't want this.
Slippers for men. Also, erectile dysfunction pills. You could have both of them together at one bargain price.
Yeah, well, I ain't got a problem with that.
Yes. You don't need the slippers. I agree. Your feet are warm. But yeah, so Great Assault Territory. So this is coming from We Got This Covered, which I have no idea if these guys are reputable. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because even though they might be questionable as a source, what they actually link to, they're linking to a couple of tweets basically that are hinting at something. So still Great Assault Territory, but Friday the 13th. Of course, has been wrapped up in legal disputes for the past couple of years now at this point. And obviously, I don't imagine the pandemic this year sped that process up. You would imagine it didn't. But
I mean, if you're gonna film anything, like, you slap a mask on that guy, it's pretty safe.
it's true. Jason himself is pretty
Mhm.
safe.
Mhm.
That said, though, his mask does have lots of little holes in it.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah. So, but he
You can CGI the holes. In
CG, CG. I think the budget for the movie just like doubled because you're CGIing the holes in the hockey mask the whole time. So, but a couple of interesting things this week, and this is in the last 24 hours actually,
Oh,
is according to We Got This Covered, trusted insider. Again, I have no idea who this guy is, so I don't know if he is actually that trusted. But Daniel Richmond is the
Kevin
insider.
Bacon.
I love the idea that he keeps tabs of Friday the 13th. Like, he's taking it back for himself after all these years. I'm going to take ownership of this franchise.
Remember we had the news story where for Scream where Matthew Lillard was like, well, I don't know if my character's really dead. What if like Kevin Bacon said that?
Yeah, what if Kevin Bacon and Johnny Depp team up and are like, no, our character's not dead. We're doing the Bacon Depp team up for Freddy vs. Jason.
I mean, the thing that's kind of weird is like I could almost see it with Depp because he did show up for the Freddy's Dead
That's
for
true.
that small cameo. Which Jesus, man, what of all the ones to appear in?
Yep. So Daniel Richmond, trusted insider, quote unquote, on his Patreon, of all places, that a revival is in the works. A new project for Friday the 13th is finally happening. And sure, other people who are his patron could probably see this and maybe corroborate it. What's more interesting though is that later on in the day, journalist Caleb Williams tweeted just the word "soon" ... hashtag Friday the 13th and then a GIF from the 2009 movie. So there's at least a couple of people hinting that maybe the legal stuff is finally wrapped up and that there's actually a movie in the works in some way. It's very grain of salt right now, but I needed a headline story for the week, and Friday the 13th maybe coming back is headline worthy. Tim, your thoughts?
Well, I'm not a big fan of remakes or reboots, but revival, now that could work.
Friday the 13th Reloaded coming to you 2022.
I mean, if they pull a dumb, stupid move and just call it Friday the 13th, I'll be very mad.
Actually, I just thought of a great idea. I don't know what the title would be. But you do a Friday the 13th movie where the plot revolves around Jason crashing a wedding, and in all the posters you have Friday the 13th and the tagline is "Save the date."
That's pretty good. I like that. It's good. Yeah, I mean that would be great. Now I'm just thinking of like a some like dumb couple like doing like a some gender reveal like thing in the woods and just like Jason coming through this like blue smoke. No, that'd be good. Who the hell was that? Caleb Johnson or whatever? Get at us. We have ideas. But the no, I mean I would definitely love a new Friday 13th. Everyone's been clamoring for it. Hey, you could even call it Friday the 13th, the 13th. That's the 13th.
That's true. Yeah. No, I mean, I think I've joked in the past they should call it the 13th Friday or something like that because it's the 13th
I like that,
movie.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, Jason wasn't the killer in the first one, but he was in there at the end, so it's the 13th movie with Jason. All right.
Yeah, and they've had enough different naming conventions that like. Usually I'm a stickler for kind of keeping it all nice and uniform, but they've already thrown that out the window, so sure, why not?
Yeah, ever since 9, I mean, okay, they changed, from Roman numerals or to Roman numerals, but at least it was still numbered until then 9 just completely butchered it.
was like wait, did they start with Roman numerals or then?
No, I think they changed to Roman numerals. I think 2 and 3 were numbers. 4 technically never or didn't usually have the number. It was just Friday the 13th, the final chapter. But that's not as bad as what they did later with like Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. The only reason why I was asking it because I was like, oh, I wonder if they stopped using Roman numerals because I just thought people were so stupid. Like they're not like after you get above a certain number, people probably don't know how to say it or what the numbers are.
I feel like as long as you're less than what the Super Bowl's at number-wise, people will know what it means just because the Super Bowl... I mean, I don't know what the Super Bowl's at. I feel like I'm good with Roman numerals. I get confused at what 50 is because I've never had to go that high before.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this could be super cool, though. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been talking, like all the years of wanting to do it, and Blumhouse seems like super intent on wanting to get that IP. So yeah, wouldn't be surprised if they've been in the talks or something about it. So it could be cool. I wonder if it seems like that's been the rumor for a while that like Blumhouse might get it, and which kind of does make you wonder, hey, if they got Jason and they got Michael Myers, could we see another versus movie?
I don't know. It's kind of weird because I like my Friday the 13th to be cheesy fun, and I like my Michael Myers to be serious and like suspenseful. So it's kind of a weird mix in a lot of ways. But hey, so yeah, it's actually even a note at the bottom of this article here talking about Jason Blum's response to could you do Friday the 13th someday? And it was basically just I'd love to do someday, but there's nothing.
Yeah.
Concrete or anything I know. So there you go. So maybe grain of salt, but maybe Friday the 13th is finally going to be coming back to us after. Do you know what's so weird? And this blows my mind. It's now been longer since the remake than it was between the remake and the previous film.
Oh wow,
that's insane to me. This is literally the longest time in history since the franchise started that we've went without a Jason Voorhees movie.
Interesting.
That's so strange. So strange.
And I do wonder if the legal stuff is all, sorted out. Like, do they have something ready to go? Like, I think I'm sure they'll want to get on it right away, but it's like, all right, do they have people that are lined up that want to do it, or is it gonna be like, all right, well, now we got to find a home for this, now we got to find a writer? Like,
wasn't there a basketball player who was going to produce the next one?
Oh yeah. Who was it? Was it? Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, there was someone.
I feel like I want to say LeBron James, but that might just because it's the only basketball player that I know who currently functions. Functions? You know what I mean? Plays is notable.
Right.
Michael Jordan, he's from the past. LeBron James is the new guy.
Yeah. No, that does sound right. Yeah, I wonder if they're still interested.
Yeah, I don't know. But hey, so moving on. Next up, we have something from director of Hellfest.
Okay.
And I was confused by this story when I glanced at it. So he's the editor of a bunch of films, Gregory Plotkin, but he also directed Paranormal Activity: The Ghost Dimension and Hellfest. He edited a lot of the Paranormal Activity sequels and Get Out, funnily enough. So he's been attached to some bigger films, but in terms of directing, that's his couple of claims to fame.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be directing a film, which is start shooting in October, by the sounds of it, called Crimson, which is a horror film that's going to pair up Plotkin with esports organization FaZe Clan. This is where I got confused. Sorry, not shooting in October. It's released in October. Oh, they're way ahead of the game. I'm sorry. I was like,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's coming out October 29th apparently, but it'll be exclusive to Invis.tv.
What is this? Is this like a Fortnite channel or something? I don't know what this is.
A new direct-to-consumer destination with a focus on content and commerce. This sounds so soulless. You can visit the site now to pre-order tickets and gain access to limited edition FaZe Clan Cross Crimson merchandise.
What?
Here's a description, which actually has like almost no plot. Crimson stars major gaming and YouTube personality FaZe Rug and will feature other top content creators from FaZe Clan, a collective boasting over 230 million combined followers, known globally for their impact on youth culture.
Okay. Yeah. Oh man, this sounds like such like a dumb like PR like statement or something. Like
this is the closest we get to actually like what it is. The scripted horror film is said to be the first in a series of projects, creating a cinematic universe conceived by Invisible Narratives and the world's top gaming organization.
What does any of this mean? These are all just like buzzwords and like shit.
Honestly, the only thing I can really say is that the poster does look like a horror movie. There's a poster on the article which looks like a horror movie. That is all I can give you.
All right. Well, I mean, I love that they're providing content direct to the consumer, because I mean, so many times I have to, I can't get stuff directly, that finally someone wants to do that. Great.
I mean, I'll be honest, I put this in more as a joke because obviously none of it sounds that appealing or interesting.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, there's either gonna be like, I feel like people will listen to this and either be like, hey, yeah, man, I'm with you guys, what the hell is this? Or like, I don't know if there's like young people that are listening that's like, no, this sounds completely normal to me. You old idiots are just like have no idea what like young people like or whatever. I don't know.
Yep. So next up though, something more interesting, hopefully. IFC Midnight.
Am I an esports star? I play video games. Like, how do I?
To be an esports star, you have to compete in competitive video games for prize money, Tim.
Okay.
Last time I checked, you hadn't figured out how to stream online yet. Never mind anything else. So
as soon as I can connect my 64 to the internet, I'll get on that.
Tim's of course referring to the Commodore 64. IFC Midnight has acquired the domestic rights to Kurosh Ahari's psychological thriller called The Night. It's going to be released in January 2021. It's an Iranian film. The night stars Shahab Husseini, who was in A Separation, which is a film that I have seen actually, and Nusha Jafarian. If I'm pronouncing those names incorrectly, I apologize. As an Iranian couple who find themselves locked inside an old hotel with their 1-year-old daughter. While attempting to make the best of this creepy hotel, an outside force pushes them to share the secrets they've been hiding. They've hidden from each other. How and if they check out depends on how carefully they question everything and everyone that comes across their path. So,
yeah, that sounds. I mean, it sounds like a cool premise. I don't really know the people involved, so it's kind of hard to
yes, I will say
judge
this
exactly.
though,
But
unlike the esports movie, this had a description for a plot.
that's good.
So there's a movie there. I know there's a movie of some kind happening.
I'll definitely be interested to see what like the trailer looks like, and I mean I don't really have too much to say about it, but I'm intrigued at least for the moment.
Okay, moving on. Did you watch any of Marianne, the Netflix show? That it was German.
Yeah,
maybe it was French actually. But what?
Yeah, it's French. Yeah, we watched all of it though. Actually, I know you didn't like it, but we were a big fan.
Yeah, I watched the first episode and hated it. Like I despised that first episode. But it's nice to see that some people with lesser taste did get something out of it. But
I think you're in the minority there. A lot of people really liked it.
Well, the world is wrong. Look outside your window, Tim. The world is collapsing. Clearly, I'm in the right. Everyone else is wrong. But anyway, the creator of that show, because the show did get cancelled after the first season. Samuel Bowden, who was behind it though, is working with Lionsgate to make a horror movie called Cobweb. And we have some casting news here. It's not a French movie. It's going to star Lizzie Kaplan, who's been in a bunch of stuff. Most recently, Castle Rock. She was the Misery, Annie Wilkes character.
Wilkes. Yep.
And then you have Anthony Starr from The Boys is going to be in it as well. So here's the description. The film centers in a small town, in an ordinary house that seems like any other, where a young boy hears a mysterious tapping from inside the walls and suspects his parents are hiding a terrible secret.
Ooh.
Do you know, I like that the ending of that suggested that it's not supernatural and it's actually that his parents are hiding like a kidnapped person or something like in the walls, because I don't know, I'm sick of like, oh, there's something supernatural in the house. Like I'm so sick of these movies at this point. There's so many of them.
Yeah, dare I say, even boy-esque.
Yeah, let's keep it the boy 3. Lizzie Kaplan's the new lead.
Hey, I'll take it. No, I think this sounds pretty cool. I mean, again, you might not be as hot on this guy, but I like Marianne, so I'm definitely up for that. And I love Lizzie Kaplan; she's great in everything she does. So I am potentially pretty. No, I say I definitely am interested at this point.
Yeah, I like Lizzie Kaplan. What's funny though is the image they've used for her here in the article on Bloody Disgusting is from Castle Rock. And obviously she's intentionally got a really sort of like dour look about her, and I'm like, I remember Lizzie Kaplan looking a lot cheerier every time I see her.
You think she should smile more?
That's not what I was saying. Shut up. She looks like she's going to cut off my feet in this photo. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on. So creator of Failed Destination, Jeffrey Reddick, who did not direct Failed Destination, because I'd never heard of this name. I assume he wrote the movie. But Jeffrey Reddick, who is going to make a movie, he's going to make his directorial debut with a film called Don't Look Back, a new horror film that's coming in time for Halloween. It's coming to theaters and on demand on October 16th. This is very last minute. This is like, less than a month away now. So this is coming out. Here's the description. So Courtney Bell stars as Caitlin Kramer, a woman overcoming a tragic past who is among several people who see a man being fatally assaulted. When the witnesses start dying mysteriously, she must unearth if they are being targeted by a killer or something more insidious.
Okay. Cool.
Tim's here for his reactions, folks.
Who'd you... wait, I've already forgotten. Who'd you say was the person that's doing this? Oh, the Final Destination guy?
Yeah, from the creator, not the director of it, but the creator of Final Destination.
Yeah, I mean, could be interesting. I guess there's not a ton to go on there. but could be cool.
Yeah, but it says something. It says, you know, the witnesses start dying. Something more insidious, perhaps. I'm like, wait, is this just Failed Destination, but with a different name? Is this just a Failed Destination movie?
It's always hard with descriptions like this because it could go into so many directions. It's just like, cool, I guess. I don't know.
So yeah, that's called Don't Look Back. Next up, Malcolm
Good
McDowell. What?
Good title.
Okay. Malcolm McDowell is who we all love, of course, from Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Of course, yes.
He's actually good in some other things. You know, Clockwork Orange.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
Stick it out. But so he's coming back to horror genre. He's going to be in The Benefactor, which is going to be directed by David Carson. McDowell is going to play a once prolific painter who takes up an artist residency after the death of his wife. However, he soon fears that the house may be haunted and that its ghosts are driving him to madness.
Okay. Did it say who like the director or anything is, or?
And director David Carson's horror film, yes.
Do you know who that is?
I don't. I did definitely say it earlier, by the way. I was being facetious the way I was saying that, because I was like, Tim should listen to me more. That's what I'm saying. But no, you're asking who that is. I'll do what I'm going to Google it for him, just for you, Timmy.
Okay.
Just for you. I'm going to Google him.
So I like Malcolm McDowell. I mean, the plot sounds good, but again, I don't know if there's anything else to go by to get excited.
David Carson, director. Oh, he actually, assuming it's the same David Carson, because, oh no, it can't be. This guy stopped working a long time ago. The director of Star Trek Generations has got the same name, but the last thing he made was in 2008. Oh, he's got something in pre-production called Time of Death, but it's not this one. Maybe this one's just not an IMDb yet. Although IMDb is usually pretty good with doing these things. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, cool. I don't know. I'm interested. We'll see how maybe be some good paintings in it.
Okay. Yeah. There's like 30 David Carsons on IMDb. I'm not looking through all of them to find out which one it is. I suspect that this is maybe, if not a first time, unless it's the same guy and the IMDb's just not updated yet. I expect this is maybe like a newer person.
Well, if it is, if it is the same guy, I say stick to Star Trek. We don't need you messing up our horror world.
Oh yeah, because there's not enough shitty horror movies for us to moan about already.
Gladly watch any of those over Star Trek any day of the week.
Oh. I think there's some movies you would not say that about, Tim.
Maybe.
How about you do a marathon of The Turning and The Prodigy and something else that was shit from recently years. I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh. Hey. I mean, that is pretty bad, but versus Star Trek? I don't know.
You're just not seeing enough good Star Trek, Tim. That's all this is. So.
Oh, I haven't seen the one good episode.
There's lots of good episodes. Stop being a dick.
All right. Don't kirk your pants or whatever. I don't know.
All right. You like Megan Fox? You got Megan Fox's poster up in your bedroom wall.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I think she's underrated.
Yes. Your wife's a little bit intimidated by the 10 Megan Fox posters in the bedroom. She's giving her a bit of a complex, but other than that,
yeah.
Yes.
What are you gonna do? It's my side of the bedroom.
I love the idea your bedroom's like Two-Face, where one half is covered in Megan Fox posters, and then the other half is just a plain, blank wall, just painted whatever color your wife likes, and that's all it is. But there's this even line. There's just this line going right down the middle. Maybe even get a custom bedspread where it's like it's stitched up the middle, where one half's just a big Megan Fox face, and then the other half is, I don't know, some puppies or something.
Sure.
Anyway, Megan Fox is going to be in another horror film. It's been a while. She was in, of course, Jennifer's Body,
Jennifer's Body.
which maybe we'll have a reason to do with this coming out at some point. So
Yep.
she's going to return in a horror film, and yeah, so it actually just completed production, despite the pandemic. It was shooting, in the I can't say it on YouTube, but the name of the thing, a safe environment in New Bayona facility in Bulgaria. So yes, they were shooting cordoned off from the world, I guess.
Interesting.
But it's called Till Death, and here's the description. Till Death tells the story of Emma, played by Fox, who is left handcuffed to her dead husband as part of a sickening revenge plot and must survive two hired killers on their way to finish the job.
Interesting. That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. Directed by S.K. Dale, who I don't know, but
Okay.
there you go. So
Wait, Stephen King, Dale. Fair.
I'm sure that's what it stands for, yes. Next up, Russell Crowe's coming. Sorry, not Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe was just in Unhinged, and the director of Unhinged, Derek Borte, is making a horror film. So his next film is going to be called Black Forest, and this is what the description is. The film will alight on a group of university students backpacking through Germany's famed Black Forest. Through inexplicable phenomena, the students find themselves transported back in time to the Middle Ages. Separated and hunted by local villagers, the students find themselves targets in a medieval-style witch hunt.
Oh yeah, that actually sounds pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like it's not a lot of we don't really see time travel stuff that much anymore, and I think that's it's a fun thing to play with.
It's worth mentioning, Unhinged is more of a thriller than a horror film, although Blythe Disgusting seemed to think this is more of a horror movie. If it's a horror movie, it's a horror movie. I could totally see this being something that me and Tara do on Ace instead, though. If it's less of a horror movie and more of a sci-fi thriller, it's probably going to be more of an Ace movie, but yeah, that sounds cool, though. I think the reason why I stuck this in the news, though, is that the fact that it said witch hunt at the end made me think, okay, maybe that gives me a bit of the tone a bit more that they're going for, which feels a bit more horror-esque, but I've not seen Unhinged. Unhinged is one of the few movies that it's been playing in theaters for ages because obviously not a lot was coming out. So Unhinged has been in theaters for like months at this point.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I meant to watch the trailer. People said there's like some really like wild trailer where, like like Russell Crowe is like narrating it or something or.
Wild.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe narrating. Never done that before.
Well, I mean, like he's like on camera talking about the movie. Like
people, I see.
Like people are comparing it to the infamous Stephen King trailer for Maximum Overdrive. If you ever seen that,
I haven't actually, but
yeah. Oh, it's super funny. You gotta check it out. It's like, cause it's just like Stephen King like talking to the trailer. Like he's like, hey, like I'm Stephen King. Like come see my movie. Like it's really funny.
That might work with certain people. I don't know if it works with Stephen King. I mean, maybe if you have like a really attractive actress or something who says, hey boys, I would really appreciate it if y'all come see my movie. Wink. Okay, tickets sold.
Sure.
There you go. Stephen King, I don't know if it works quite as well. In fact, if Stephen King winks at me, I might be a little bit like, ugh. Stephen King just winked at me. I'm all uncomfortable.
Sure.
I'm just saying he's a weird dude, alright?
Alright.
He's a weird dude. Alright.
I'd be flattered.
Of course you'd be flattered. You do have some weird kinks though, you have to admit.
Yeah.
Alright, last up then this week we got a trailer I thought was worth talking about called The Wolf of Snow Hollow. And this is coming to theaters and on demand on October 9th. This is even quicker than the other one that we talked about earlier. Jesus. Some of these movies are coming really, really short notice, but this is actually. Let me tell you what it. So Jim Cummings is the writer and director of the film, and I think he's also the star of the film. So that's always a good sign, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he stars in it. But he also has Robert Forster in it, which is actually kind of a bittersweet thing because he passed away earlier this year. So it's actually, one of, I assume, like his last role or one of his last roles. So basically, it's kind of funny though because the trailer, it comes up saying Academy Award nominee or winner. I don't know if he won or not. I can't remember. But it comes up saying, Academy Award nominee Robert Forster, and it never actually does. I assumed, okay, I get why you put him first because he actually has some credibility. But it felt weird to me not to also, because the main actor, the writer director dude, like he is clearly the main character, so it felt weird not to after him also give him a screen, even though no one knows who he is, just for the sake of hey, let's pretend he's prestigious to give him a bit of cred. But it's a werewolf movie. It's set in a
werewolves are big,
snowy small town around Christmas time, and has a bit of a sense of humor to it. I'll give you the description here before we talk about the trailer itself. So the film stars on a small town sheriff who is struggling with a failed marriage, a rebellious daughter, and a lackluster department who is tasked with solving a series of brutal murders that are occurring on the full moon. As he's consumed by the hunt for the killer, he struggles to remind himself that there's no such thing as werewolves. And the trailer also clearly points out that he's a recovering alcoholic as well. So, Tim, what did you make of the trailer?
I like this a lot. I was pretty surprised because I think we had talked about it on a previous episode, and it was just kind of like, all right, that's whatever. It sounds like a werewolf movie or whatever. But watching the trailer, I actually really liked the tone they were going for, because to me it seemed very comedic, but not in a dumb way like most comedy movies are, where everything has to be very flashy and everyone has to have this kind of Whedon-esque dialogue that people have been trying to rip off for 20 years or whatever.
Yes, and obviously most of the people can't do it because
exactly, yeah.
It's kind of it's a very specific thing to him. But no, I agree. But it's got a kind of interesting sense of humor where it feels a bit more.
It's
put it.
I would put it. It's a very tense man who's as my dogs are going crazy. They know we're talking about wolves. But it's it's just a very frustrating, it sounds like a man just surrounded by idiots, and he's just very frustrated and breaking down mentally, because it's constantly throughout it, people keep talking about werewolves. He's there's no such thing as werewolves, and then it's it's a very it's kind of subtle, he's not overacting, and it's also kind of an interesting juxtaposition, I think, between you have the stuff they're saying, I think, is pretty funny, but also the trailer isn't trying to play it as funny. The music in the background is very serious,
Yeah, it's played very straight. Do you know what it kind of does? It kind of flips it on its head a little bit, where usually in movies like this, you'll have the one character who's convinced the werewolf is real and everyone else thinks he's crazy and doesn't believe him. That seems to be the opposite, where every single other cop in the department's I think it's a werewolf, it may be a werewolf, and he's no, that's not such thing as werewolves. So no, it plays it in a really sort of, I don't know, it's not like the comedies like The Office, but I was almost getting that kind of awkward Office type vibe in the delivery, where he was trying to say there's no werewolves, or even when he sort of slips and says it's not a werewolf, it's a man, and when we find him, I'm going to bring him to justice.
Yeah.
It had kind of this sort of offbeat kind of thing. I don't want to quite say, I'm trying to think of a kind of director to compare it to. I don't want to quite say Jim Jarmusch, but there's
but
there's kind of a quirky kind of downbeat sort of vibe to it, which seems alright from the trailer. So I'm curious.
I'm definitely intrigued, and it might be interesting to note too. I don't think you see any of the werewolf in it. Maybe a very tiny glimpse.
I think you see it from behind briefly.
Yeah.
But you don't get a shot of the face or anything. Yeah. I'm assuming it's in the movie, but.
Oh yeah, no, totally. But I think that's a good credit to the trailer, though, where I am very intrigued without even having to see much of the actual horror aspect of it.
I suspect that maybe the reason why we don't see it in the trailer is because they don't actually show it in the movie till the very end. Because the whole idea is he doesn't believe it's real, so we don't see it properly. So they don't want to don't want to spoil their one scene with the werewolf in the trailer.
Totally, yeah. I mean, it seems like probably a smaller indie movie or whatever. So, well, actually, wait, no, it was an Orion classic. So I guess maybe.
I mean, that's kind of indie level. It's not.
Yeah. Not huge big budget though, so there's not gonna be a battle scene where like 50 werewolves start running at 50 sheriffs or something like. But yeah, so it'll probably be a bit more subdued on that stuff. But again, like if you have really interesting, intriguing characters and stuff, like that's that could totally be fine. And I like the setting too. Like you don't see enough horror movies set in like the cold and the snow. It seems nice.
Yeah, no, I like the setting too. So I'm cautiously optimistic, I'd say.
Me too.
Based on the trailer. Joe, there should be a werewolf movie that's maybe a bit more comedic that copies the McDonald's slogan, like the ads at the end, and goes na 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 na. I'm liking it.
Okay. I was wondering where you're going with that.
I'm liking it. All right. So there you go. That is the news for the week. So yeah, and we're getting very close to October, which is maybe the thing I should stress more than anything else, is that we are very close to the Octoberthon. So look forward to that. And also, there's going to be a Streams After Midnight before the end of the month. And me and Tim have actually talked about when that is, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be this upcoming Saturday. But I mean, Tim might correct me.
That sounds about right.
It sounds about right. We literally haven't talked about it. We just kind of assumed it'd be a Saturday late in the month. So, but there you go. That is that. You can of course get us on the Twitters at Streams Midnight for your updates and whatnot. Please do like and subscribe and all that stuff. It does help out a lot. It's a nice, free and easy way to support us. And shows you like the content coming. Of course, you can check us out at patreon.com/MailFuzzTV for some bonuses. From $1 a month, you get access to bonus episodes of Streams After Midnight every single month. You get more than one in October, actually, for the Octoberthon. And then at the higher tiers, you get voting rights and early access and stuff like that to a bunch of the episodes. And so go and have a look and see if you're interested in all that stuff. But that is the movie news. So there you go. And I just want to wrap this up by asking Tim if he has seen a film called Killer Workout, aka Aerobicide.
I feel like we talked about this before. I don't know if we
did I ask
mentioned
this,
it last.
Did I ask this last week on the news? Okay, in that case, never mind then. I was trying to remember if I'd already done it. Okay, fair enough then.
No, I mean, for the record, yeah, I haven't seen it, but it definitely sounds like something I need to see.
Never mind then. Okay, that's us. Thank you once again for watching or listening. And join us next week when I asked him again if he's seen Aerobicide / Killer Workout.
I feel like you're just trying to get me to work out.
Maybe once I start doing it first, maybe we could talk then. All right. So yeah, thanks for once again for watching or listening. I appreciate it. Keep watching scary movies, guys, and we will see you next time.